bam, 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 bam.
Well, as you could hear, we're going to be talking about the most anticipated movie of the summer. Last week we did the preview. Now we're going to do our review having seen it. Comic Cocktail, Superman Part 2. Coming right to you. All right, so we're back. Superman 2. Mickey and I have wildly different takes on it. I'll let you go first, Mickey. Why not? You know what I mean? You tell us what you thought of Superman. I'll tell everybody. No, let me make it.
Can I grab my notes here?
Yeah,
okay?
knock yourself out. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I feel bad. These. Oh man.
Okay.
This is
honestly,
my binder of notes for
right, his binder of notes. Between you, me, and the four walls, I thought it was a very fun, good movie. Some of the stuff Mickey didn't like, come on, dog. But I thought it was a fun, lighthearted, yet dark enough look at the Superman character and brought it back to a bit of prominence that it's been missing. I was a Cavill, Zack Snyder Superman guy.
Super Knight.
I know Super Knight.
That's the movie
Superman
they did,
guy.
right? Super Knight.
Super
That's
Knight.
crossover. Super V's.
No. But I enjoyed the movie. I'll tell you what points I enjoyed first, but I got to counterpoint this guy. Go for it, Mickey. Tell us what you thought of the movie.
Well, no. I thought you were going to tell me what you because more of expounded of that. Like what?
Right.
So you really enjoyed it. Before we kind of spoke about what we really dove into was like. I guess we really hammered the father figures, about when we really hammered Superman.
Right.
And coincidentally, this movie had a lot about what I was talking about.
Yes, it did. It did.
And what we talked about last time was about the John Byrne
Which is
rehaul that
consistent.
everybody likes to keep doing.
Right.
Because
it makes sense. Nothing else makes sense.
No, that it's not the only option. It's not how you have to write. That's my counter argument. So,
Okay.
Again, the Marlon Brando and previous, he wasn't tasked here to, invincible Viltrumite conquer the earth. This is John Byrne, writer, artist, he did a lot of great things for a lot of the characters. I think, like I said, that avenue and of you're really confining at the potential of the father, of the Kryptonian father. Like, I'm not going to rehash all the. Basically, what I said last time is you have to make the human father that's the adoptive, the Jonathan Kent that he is the one that pushes him to be a superhero, realizing his godlike talents, and the Kryptonian biological father should be weary of him pushing. It's not even him; it's a hologram ghost at this point. But the intent should never be them sending their son to task the planet. It's very dystopian, tyrannical. You can write it to where they are good people. They've been trying
They're
to.
still good people.
Not if they're not good people if they're sending their child to rule over everyone like a god.
Let me ask you this question.
That doesn't give people an option.
No. Let me just ask this question. You and Kat have a baby. You have the science and the technology to send your baby to a planet where, let's say, the average intelligence the sign of exceptional intelligence is the intelligence of a chimpanzee.
Why are you sending the baby? That's what I'm asking.
Wait a minute. And sending your baby to this planet that even though you have the mentality of a chimpanzee, they look just like you, you look just like them. You're going to have incredible powers. You're going to have incredible abilities nobody else on this planet has. You're already so far technically advanced that you look at these people as Cro-Magnon. Are you really sending your son, who is going to be exceptional on every level of the word, above the people he's going to live with, to dumb himself down and just be basically a slave, or I don't want to say slave, that's too strong a word, but literally to just
Be a human?
Yeah, be a human amongst these people that, quite frankly, he's a god compared to.
Again,
the math just doesn't math like that.
Well, that's unfortunately the case that the roads that most people go down, and that's why it's so critical that I think Superman always be the true north, because, or his best version, in my opinion. There's so many versions of him taking these. I think those elements in the storytelling would lead to a darker Superman. Mm-hmm. I don't think that would lead to the altruistic, great True North Superman that I think of as like a True North Superman.
But how he still got the Kansas parents giving him that?
But okay, again, you're eliminating, and I'll bring this back up when we talk about their mess up in the James Gunn thing that we just saw together, like our experiences, or we didn't see together, we saw separately.
Yes.
So we can talk about this right now. So what they did in this movie was that they took Bradley Cooper, who played his father, and his message was a certain thing to begin with, and then at the end you didn't realize what the message was, he never knew it, but then Lex Luthor and his cyber engineer girl, we got to dive into all these atrocities, there's so many of these things, but they find the message, and instead of it being like I thought it was going to be revealed to be like, oh, there's more of the message, or that was a hoax, or they AI manipulated it. In which there's a better version of this movie somewhere where I think that like Lex Luthor in the movie there shouldn't have been, when they broke into the fortress, maybe there shouldn't have been a rest of the message, right? Or they should not have been able to crack the rest of the message. It should have been too complicated and left room for Mr. Terrific to be terrific, right?
Yeah.
Right. But the message, they should have like not cracked it and instead like used AI to like slander him publicly or whatever. And then when everybody dislikes him, it's fake, but Mr. Terrific shows the world and really corrects it and shows the real message. And you know what the real message should have been? And I think we talked about this for briefity. I think of the phone after we both saw it is the message coming from his, instead of, they made his, this is what I mean, is that it's bad writing, because now you've stunted and you've eliminated the Kryptonian father figure. You don't want to hear anything more from a father figure who's telling his son to be a tyrant God. That's not what you should want out of, like, you eliminate anything that he would be as a father educatorial person in his life, any kind of mentor of a true north but again, it's not even him, it's a ghost of him as being the AI, but that's in the writing. When I say him, it's, you know what I mean, it's the facsimile of him, is whatever the AI in whatever version it is. But I like the version, and I think that so you don't care about anything else that Bradley Cooper's character says, because everybody was like, oh, well, even the people in Metropolis go, you're tyrant, you said here, the mission is clearly not good, Richard.
Yes.
It's tyrannical.
That's what makes the character arc so beautiful.
So I don't like making his father and making his purpose, because again,
you're
it
putting his father into this category of evil. I'm putting his father in the category of common sense, for the amount of technology and the amount of science that they had at their disposal. Yeah, Earth was nothing to them like that. You understand?
Why? Okay, in your version, why are they even sending him to Earth?
Because the planet's about to explode.
Okay, so why don't they save themselves?
I don't know why they don't.
Again, okay,
they always felt it was too late, and I'm telling you right now.
It's too late. Okay, wait. Okay, so by your proxy, so
I'm trying to answer.
So this, what I'm saying, it's too late. Okay, so in this version, the Krypton's going to explode. It's too late.
By the way, that question can be asked no matter what motivation
we can't save ourselves. I can only send my child to one planet, but in all that thing, you're saying my intent to send him to the planet is like, send him to. Why not pick anywhere else
that Krypton lives? Because they're very specific about why they choose Earth. They look like us. they have a yellow sun
Okay,
that
I
will
agree.
nourish
Yeah,
him
I
and
get-
make him strong. and
Okay,
make
they
him
think that, but
beyond-
have they ever witnessed that and seen
No,
that? But
that's
they
the
hypothesize
theory.
about
right,
that.
They're exactly
okay.
hypothetically. So that's why I'm saying it does
The wishful
the
thinking of
math
your
it
child to
doesn't-
rule over everybody is
What do you
fucking
mean? It's
crazy.
not wishful because they have the science of understanding
I
how
can't
much
even
better
get
he's
it.
going
I
to be.
can't-
How better now.
this is what
First
I-
of all, every parent, and this is just real. Every parent thinks their child's special. Every parent thinks their child's going to
Yeah,
be
but to
president of the
want your
United
child to
States.
rule over billions of people is fascist
Not
and
just
tyrannical.
real, not
It's
just
cr-
no.
it's hollow. There's a difference.
You're
you
not
can
being
make
realistic.
you can make
You're
the
not being
people-
realistic.
I'm.
You're not
that-
being realistic. with
That is unfortunately there are no, I agree with you. That is realistic, and terrible people, unfortunately, a lot of people are terrible and fall into that category.
What would make
That's
so
a horrible
if we know
morality.
that
It's a horrible
Jarrell,
morality.
it is not. Let me
It
tell you,
is.
if we know that Jarrell,
How can you
I'm
say-
trying to answer. If we know that Jarrell tried to warn Krypton, and depending on which comic book you read, Brainiac blocks it, and this, that, and the other, because he wants Krypton to destroy it because he's got his sample and he's about to go on his reign of terror throughout the universe. So, if Jarrell knows that the planet is going to be destroyed, right? And he's loyal to Krypton, I'll die with my planet, but that Krypton might live on, I'm going to give my son, I'm going to sacrifice my son. This is that Christ figure you're always talking about. I'm going to not sacrifice. I'm going to put my son on a planet where he can teach, where he can show the ways of Krypton, where everything's better. You're calling it fascism, and I'm saying to you, no, I don't think his father's being fascist. I think his father's being realistic, because why would I have my son, who I know, first of all, I think our way of life is better. Our Kryptonian way of life is better. I think this is why people vote. If you vote Republican or Democrat, you obviously think one is better than the other.
Okay, well,
I don't care which one you vote.
Okay, here's the difference. To be a shining example and to catch more flies with honey is different than forcing your ways upon a people.
Oh.
Do you understand the difference?
I think there's something special coming our way.
Are we? This is going to be great.
Oh my
Bartender
goodness.
Brandon,
Bartender
Bartender
Brandon.
Brandon.
What's up,
What
guys?
do we got here?
Okay, so we have the key lime lantern ring. Okay, and then we have the Brainiac. So the key lime lantern ring.
It's like a key lime pie
Yeah, it's like a key lime pie. Yeah,
for
exactly.
Green Lantern.
Yes,
and with a
exactly.
green ring.
With
Okay,
a
I
green
get
ring.
you with
Yes,
it.
exactly.
For the Guy Gardner that was in the Super
Yes, that works.
Yeah.
I like the casting. And
I did too. I thought it was very good casting.
Yeah,
For him.
well,
Right. Yeah, yeah.
these are very good casted drinks as
Okay,
well.
yeah, continue.
Sorry.
So,
So we have, so we have the key lime lantern ring is going to be a little bit of vodka, some half and half, some heavy cream, some agave because we love the non-GMO agave that we get around here.
but all that's not a non-GMO. The cream, heavy
All
cream,
of it, yeah, everything.
And
We only use premium
and even the
ingredients here.
vodka is organic,
The
right?
vodka is organic
Okay.
and non-GMO as well. Yeah, and we have it rimmed with a nice graham cracker rim as well. So this brings us to the Brainiac. The Brainiac is kind of like a blueberry-esque drink. It has blueberry syrup, tequila,
Blackberry.
blueberry. We garnish it with a blackberry.
Oh, did you pour blueberries in this?
Let bartender Brandon work his magic. Go on ahead, bartender Brandon. You know what I'm saying?
I got corrected by 12th level intellect. Somebody was drinking a Brainiac.
So
Good job.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, so in this one we have tequila, again, agave, blueberry syrup, a little bit of lime juice, some mint leaves in there. We shake it up, and we put it in a nice pint glass, garnished with mint and a blackberry.
That's awesome.
It is absolutely perfectly refreshing, topped with a little bit of soda as well. Yeah.
That's
Why don't
awesome.
you guys
So
take
you
a-
tricked me.
I
I
am,
was like,
yeah,
it's
let's-
blackberry
let's-
and blueberry.
Is there any way I can get a water too? Because something tells me.
Oh yeah, no.
Wait till you
we're
try one of
definitely
those. We
using some
tested
water
it
as well.
out. It was
Pretty good. Are you not gonna try?
No,
yours
no,
and
I'm gonna.
see?
I want to see what
You know what I'm
Here, cheers
Cheers.
Yeah,
to the Superman movie and
Superman.
to bartender Brandon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is 12th level intellect of bartender knowledge.
This is insane. I don't even like sweet drinks, and this is great.
Fantastic, right?
Right?
This is insane.
Oh,
Well, we
yeah.
paid you to say that.
Yes, he's supposed to say that. So.
No, and look,
Mm-hmm.
because you got to be about your health.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that is like a key lime pie.
That one's like velvety, right?
Yeah,
That was
that
nice.
killed it.
Yeah.
That's like
oh,
drinking
thank
an
you.
actual pie, key lime pie slice.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
That's insane.
All right.
I think we're like,
Insane.
now we have superpowers to go on with.
I
it.
feel like we do.
Good job.
I
That's
feel like we
awesome.
do.
Yes, all
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
Did you see Superman yet, Brandon?
I did not.
Why? Tell us why.
Yes, please.
I don't like Superman that much. I think he's an overrated, overpowered superhero. I just, because all the rest of them have all these different, like weaknesses and quirks and things that they have. Even people in their lives, you
Yep.
know, that make weaknesses. But
They're more
he's just-
human.
Yeah.
He's the alien god
But
that's
he's just, yeah,
is
alien
too
god.
far away for you.
Yeah. He's just,
I think a lot of iterations, and this is what I'm saying, and I think a lot of iterations, they can't handle the goodness with the writing. They can't handle how Boy Scouty great he should be, and because he's the first superhero, he's the first superhero, is the modern archetype of a mythological character like a Perseus and a Moses and how they did. But I think again, much in the nature of Superman, holding and writing correctly a very good moralistic, absolute great version of Superman is very difficult because you have to be that kind of you can't write smarter than you are.
Right.
You can't be better than on paper than you yourself, I think, internally be. And I think a lot of people have misused Superman and you get a lot of darker, in the writing process, it should lead to a darker Superman I believe, imbuing him with certain characteristics like that, like making the father a tyrant. I really love, and it's something to come to anytime somebody says they don't like Superman, and I know to make him interesting, you can make him like gritty, like Zack Snyder tried to make him like gritty. What'd you think of the Zack Snyder? Did you ever see that one?
I didn't
The
see
Man
that
of
one.
Steel.
It's just because I've just never been into him.
They try a
Because
bunch of
that.
different avenues with it, but I will say if you're not into if you're not going to dive into a comic book, and you're looking for something similar, honestly, and I come back to it all the time because it's all about great design and great writing. The Batman the Animated Series, BTAS, and then the follow-up to that, the Superman Animated Series, which was done by the same people, Paul Dini and Bruce Timm. They did something magical where for Batman 2 and as Superman, and then they did with the Justice League and all these characters. They went back and they took all the greatest things about all the let's say Superman, what we're talking about, all the great things about Superman, and then all the weird stuff and just stripped it away because you couldn't have that in the design, and also you're dealing with a PG moralism, and they not only the character design, the feel of it, the tone, and everything. So I want to say, to me, the greatest shorthand version of the quickest call to the voice and everything of a Superman, other than a Christopher Reeves from the set, whatever, is honestly that Superman the Animated Series, and because he is people are unfamiliar. If you want to see something really good and interesting, and I think a true Norse Superman behaves and acts and sounds and everything, and the stories are engaging. Look at his rogues galleries; they're again a lot. I think a lot of his rogues galleries are mistreated because of bad writing or whatever. But when you give him a great gut, be like the Metallo with John Corbin, he was voiced by McDowell.
Sure was.
They got crazy.
Yeah,
Remember Clancy Brown is Lex Luthor.
Clancy Brown is
It's
Lex Luthor.
again to the rogues galleries. Not only with Superman, but every one of his rogues and his villains or his antagonists is every one of them. The writers just boiled and just stripped down and got a really good version of
They
every
even did the
one.
one I've never gotten. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just have a question real quick. If you were to suggest one Superman, anything to try and get me to become a fan, what would you suggest?
Honestly, because in my heart of hearts, is that Superman the Animated Series, and
Gotcha.
it is the most wholesome. It looks great. There is heart in some of those episodes, and you get to what I like, that their Kryptonian parents were in a last ditch effort to send their kid, and I'm not saying that they don't want their kid to, hey, this is our culture, please. Obviously, he puts a hologram crystal. He wants his kid to know of him. I'm not saying don't know anything and hide all your Kryptonian heritage. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that his Kryptonian father would hologram him, much like he does in this animated series. It's very caring. It's very I hope he lands on this planet, and I hope they take him in. And here's a book of all of our stuff, and we can't go with you, son. I'm very sorry. Not like, hey, you know what? Breed with as many women as you can, and if people don't conform, just like put them in line with your superpower and line them up with your laser vision, Homelander.
Well,
that's how
the unfair. The thing
but this is how the logical writing would go. That's a fraction. If you put that darkness in there, it would go that. But that's what it doesn't make sense for the story. Why is the planet blowing up? Why are they sending them? Are they sending them out of desperation? Are they sending them out of desperation? Are they sending him to be a tyrant? Are they sending?
They're both. They're sending him somewhere where he can.
Anyway, Batman or Superman the Animated Series, which is like, and again, I would say Batman the Animated Series, and if you want to judge it for any of the other characters too, I proselytize it. So if it's kiddish, quick and clip it, and that's like if you don't okay, I'll say this: if you don't like that Superman, the truest Superman is not for you. Then
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll go
the best version of him.
do some homework, and I'll let you know in the next episode. Meanwhile, I'm gonna make this guy another drink.
Yeah,
I don't want
you know.
He looks like he needs it.
Yeah, we should be ready. I'll get through this one. Okay, to move on from, the concept of the father, I just think like in this, like in James.
I don't think the father's bad.
James
I don't think either father's bad.
I go on the record as saying that's morally bad, and more of on the wrong side and objectively evil. But
let me tell you why I say this.
Wait,
hold on, I gotta get this out. People inherently think the way that they were raised, even if it was shitty, is right. And that's why it's really hard to break generational curses or get people to behave in a different way from that which they have seen. For it doesn't make logical sense for a planet that, if Krypton were healthy and decided they wanted to colonize Earth, there's nothing Earth could do to stop it. So it doesn't make any sense that a father who's sending his son somewhere where he's going to be safe is just doing this and it's very John Burnsian. I'm sorry, it made sense to me the first time I read it in a comic book. It also made sense to me, and this is what I mean by you're cutting out the fact that Superman chooses not to do that.
Yeah,
he's
but
fully aware of it.
Again, I'll go back to the fact that I think it makes the biological father tyrannical, and therefore I don't value any more of his input. It's only like analytical input of like his past and their culture that there's no heart in me for anything he can morally give his son through like a ghost facsimile of him from an AI. We got to go over that, and again, so that's the conclusion of that character. But like, there's so much other stuff in this movie that we got to get back to this movie.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, I thought that James Gunn has one tone of movie he can do apparently since Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's Guardians of the Galaxy. And if it's not inside, he is the complete incorrect person to take on such a thing as Superman. I believe
he's basically the Kevin Feige.
All this was like, it was crammed with so many characters. There was jokes that not jokes that I would even laugh at. I wasn't even laughing because the whole time I was like, most of the movie, you want to see what my face was most of the movie? Like trying to understand how could you possibly think that this should be the tone for Superman?
Okay.
Because one, for the whole movie, but like and inherit, like I don't think that David Cornswet might not be like a great actor. Mm-hmm. He could look it or whatever. I don't think that many of these guys, like who played Holt, who played Lex Luthor, couldn't have been a great Lex Luthor. Right. I just think the writing and everything was all over the goddamn place. It was fucking crazy. There was so much stuff. If you just stripped out a whole bunch of this shit, there's some deep down, like if you had to have some of these components, sure, I would have gotten rid of all the Baravia stuff. This was James Gunn. You know what? James Gunn saw Invincible and then saw The Boys and was like, someone give me Superman so I can do that in that. And it was like, well, we've already seen that in Invincible. We've already seen The Boys. We've already seen Black Noir, a clone of a guy and a thing and gone wrong. And we've already seen that. And then I've already seen, and again, uninteresting.
The only disappointment I had with the clone was why not just do Bizarro and keep it moving?
Why not do none of it? You know what was the most compelling story they didn't use? Metamorpho. Like, his kid's locked up. It should have been Metamorpho, like terrorizing Superman, but not willingly, like he's doing it like he doesn't want to, because like Lex Luthor has his, I don't know where this, and all of a sudden there's like a green baby, never explained. How does he have a green elf baby? Okay, if he has to have a green elf baby, then it should be like, why would Lex Luthor, the smartest man, keep him in a box right next to the guy?
Because he wanted him to see it and torture him with it.
But you would never keep the hostage right next to the fucking super powerful Metamorpho Man that can do anything.
Wait a
to get
minute,
his
Metamorpho
baby.
Man created the artificial kryptonite, which kept Superman down. It was
Yeah,
killing
but
him. That's why he did.
I love that aspect of it. I'm saying, yeah, use that to kick Superman's ass, and there's very poignant moments in the movie where you can have, like, I wish the Metamorpho should have, like, been clobbering Superman, and Superman's like, I'm getting my ass kicked by this guy, but he doesn't even want to kick his ass. He's only doing it begrudgingly because his kid's trapped. He should have had.
But they kind of addressed that when he
should
was
have had,
with the whole.
This is where I'm saying this is where this should have been the whole movie. This should have been the whole because then you don't have like Superman just beating up a guy, and you have him getting the heart of it. Where like, and it's father sons and father sons. That's the really story. Like you wouldn't keep your hostage right next to the person you are commanding. You would if you have a pocket. He creates a pocket dimension. You keep the baby in the pocket dimension, and you make Metamorpho do everything in Metropolis, and the Metamorpho's like kicking Superman's ass, and Superman's like, finally they get to a point where it's like, why are you doing this? He's like, my kid, Lex Luthor's got my kid, and he's like, he doesn't really want to kill Superman, and then Superman's like, well, let me help you find your kid, and he's like, I can never find him, I've been looking all over the city, I can't find my kid, because he's in a pocket dimension. That's the use of the pocket dimension, other than like going to a pocket dimension and then keeping Superman in his cell. I'm so smart, I got a pocket dimension. I'm talking to this alien on a skiff for no reason. No reason for that. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that.
Well, that part
so
is
many
true.
reasons. I'm going to do a Russian roulette game with a guy for no reason for the falafel guy. Oh, I thought it'd be. Where is this coming from? Where's this writing? Who's the fucking interdimensional alien on a skiff?
The evilness
Doesn't make any sense. Oh, and let's make sense. I can create a pocket dimension
Okay,
to create.
wait a minute.
I can create.
I got pushback for you
I
on
can
this.
create a pocket dimension where I keep Superman in, but yet I can't have security cameras to see what's going on. Dumb.
Yeah.
Dun,
All right, so I'll live with that. But,
dun,
but
dun,
here's the
dun,
thing.
dun,
Here's
dun,
what you have to.
dun.
You can't establish.
I need to drink this movie away. I had to get when I
Wait a
got
minute,
out
wait
of
a
that
minute,
movie,
wait a
I
minute.
had
Let me
to
make this
wash
point
my
before I
mouth
forget
out.
it. If the Russian roulette scene with Lex Luthor is establishing that he's evil. He's not just smart because all of his wait a minute, all of his motivations up until this point were logical. What's your problem with Infinity Wars? You're always saying they made Thanos sane. They didn't. They took away the real motivation of Thanos. So when you
What
have
was
Lex
Luthor's
Luthor,
motivation in this movie?
Lex Luthor's motivation made sense.
What was his? I'm asking you.
He's trying to protect humanity from the same thing I've been. I said this in the last episode. It was said so perfectly by Ben Affleck. If there is a 1% chance this guy can destroy us, we have to treat it like it's a 100% not possibility, probability.
I think that was not done up as much as it should have been. I think you're reading more into what should have been Lex Luthor's motivation. I agree. That would be the angle that I would have taken, and he hinted at it once, maybe, where he was like, the one good line in the movie where he's a Superman. He's not a man. He's an it. You know, he's like and that should have been the angle more of Lex Luthor than Pride or his motivation was all over the place, and at the end he had like a 12-year-old scream fest with ego. Superman too, and he had to scream, and then Superman's crying. Every man in this movie was crying, and Superman never behaved like Superman. He never once had that Superman moment where he put on the cape and put on the thing, and never had like.
One time.
I didn't feel it.
The building which I knew you were going to have a problem. I literally was in the movie theater going, "Oh, Mickey's going to tear that up." The building when the car was you know what I mean. He saved the building from falling on the one.
I know it's what you mean. Kneel before Zod. I'm wearing my Zod.
He's in Zod uniform to just let y'all know how much.
Kneel before Zod.
Your head is off camera.
You
gotta stay
I'm just floating because I'm a Kryptonian.
He did float. No, he had that great. He had that great scene after the building finally collapsed and he had gotten her car out, where he was just floating in the air above it. That was hot. You have to admit that was a dope.
I didn't like the fact that the
I know,
building
you had
physics
trouble,
was
yes,
like whatever.
I agree
He's saving
with that.
squirrels. Okay, here's the thing about the James Gunn's Metropolis. Everyone's like the people don't behave like people. They see a giant kaiju and they're like running right into its feet. Everyone's just like standing around bumbling. I had a joke with Kat, and I was like, you know what this like city needs? Every time there's a disaster, nobody's doing anything.
That's
they're just
true.
Like, they're just like drinking
that I
coffee
get
and
you,
on their
yeah.
phones. It was ridiculous. Like the little girl's just like standing there.
But you know what the
like,
silent piece of that was? Superman will save us. Remember, this was not an origin story. One of the things I was so grateful for is we didn't have to go back to
That's
the
just
very
you
beginning.
would never not run away from a giant kaiju. That's crazy. It's just
So
dumb.
used to Superman
It's too
saving
comical and it takes me way out of it. And it like my thing is, you could still do it where Superman's trying to protect and stop. I like the fact that he's trying to not harm the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. But like again, Superman should arrive on the scene. It's like, please, everyone, please get back. Please stay away. And like whatever. Nobody's fleeing. Nobody's running away. And instead, he's like saving squirrels when like. But he wants to save.
He wanted to
hold
save
on.
the kaiju.
Okay, that's a great moment, and I can come back to that. But in reference to like the fact that like he's saving a squirrel at one moment, and he's like, man, he's just saving a squirrel, and like everybody's just like obviously things are getting crushed when he's like walking on shit.
Superman
It's like,
believes in all life.
okay, but
he was the original
right,
woke
but
warrior.
but at another moment in the movie, he's just like putting on his boots as like he goes, Green Lantern and so got a space imp, and it's like you can clearly see in the battle behind them in the oh yeah, refills. I need my super juice. Am I getting one too?
Oh, you want another one
Yeah,
too?
he
Una
does. You
máscara.
saw the way he
You seem like
snarfed
you're-
that
Por
down. No, y'all missed it. Once he got going.
Because I had to drink to get through this fucking movie. But there's clearly like a that's right. That's fast flash. That's flash fast.
Can I have a sip of that? I just
Absolutely
want to see
not.
what it tastes
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
I put this in front of you.
You want the rest of this? Try the rest
Honestly,
of this. Try the
real
rest of
talk,
it.
Brandon was that strict as a bartender.
Key lime pie. It tastes just like a key lime pie.
Dude, it's so velvety and good.
That tastes amazing.
I know.
Here's yours.
I mean,
No, I can't double fist. I've got enough.
So,
Hello, double fist.
but there's a space.
Hello.
Just less it.
But there's a space imp like destroying the city behind him, and clearly like every time it's bashing into buildings. It's like there's 30 people dead. There's 40 people on that fourth floor dead, and Superman's like they got it. It's like Superman would never behave that way. As soon as he knew that there was something going on, he'd go, hold on, Lois.
Now that part I agree with. That's
Superman. That's
I
Superman.
will
That's
agree.
Superman. That's Superman. He was never Superman. He was never Superman. And Lois never respected him. He never was like Superman. She can give him all that sass and whatever, and they can have.
Wait
like,
a minute.
Sass,
Wait a minute. He called for the smoke and she gave it to him. And she said, she said before she even gave him the smoke.
Yeah.
Do you want this smoke?
I don't
Basically,
mind
that's
that
what she said.
I don't
Because I'm going
mind-
to come at you. She was like,
Listen,
hey, I'm going to come
listen,
at you like
I don't
Lois
mind-
Lane,
I
the
don't-
reporter.
I don't mind them having when he's disclosed or disrobed, him having like
Which is what it
real,
was.
real repertoire with
Right.
that. There was never a moment, and I like that. But there should have been the dichotomy moment that, like, even though I am dating this guy and whatever, when he put on that suit, he should have been like. I
will give you that.
And then she should have had a different like, oh.
That's okay.
And he never
Wait a
did
minute.
that. Brandon
I'm
Routh
not-
even did that in the other Superman.
Yes, he
was
did.
that.
Yeah.
And I want to come back to this too. They've never done. They never done a like. I don't want to keep yelling into the mic, you know. So like, they've never done. I think the best version of Superman flying cinematically was. In defense of the
That's
things
why I
that
gave that movie a pass. Say it out loud. You gotta help me. 'cause
Superman Returns.
I messed up on camera and said I liked it. It was a little slow, and then you broke down through an island of kryptonite, and I felt like an idiot.
Guess
but what
what?
I loved was the flying sequences. That was the best flying sequences.
It has I think the best cinematic scene, like representative of a Superman ever. I think it's the scene where the shuttle is like lifting
Yeah.
off of the plane because of like the animation dynamics with
and
the,
him
the-
having trouble
you-
saving the day. It wasn't just
Nobody
he had to
behaved like-
figure shit out while
it
he was in
wasn't
the air.
dumb. Nobody
Right.
was behaving because they were all just like in a cockpit that
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
were getting jostled around and everything. You couldn't have dumb people. Nobody was like doing. There wasn't a scene where like somebody's going, I need a hot
Yeah.
dog here, Mr.
Yeah.
Hot Dog. It's like nothing crazy happening. It was like people just fall. You know how they just jam stuff
Yeah,
in
I
it?
know, yeah.
I'm saying like everybody was like falling in. Like Zero G, he saves the
Airplane
because you
keeps
felt
coming in the
okay.
cockpit.
It's the
We're here to
animation
say-
and the
we're all counting
and the
on it.
presence of like Superman. It's a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's that he looked like Christopher Reeve. The music was on point with John Williams recreating this kind of like thing, and he gets. And you felt the weight of the plane, and it's great. Every scene doesn't have to be like I punch you and then like through 1,000 buildings.
Yeah.
It would happen, but like you got to know restraint to like sell the weight of the animation. That's why Pacific Rim 1 was better
Yeah,
than Pacific Rim 2
yeah.
because you felt the weight
Weight
of
of
the
all the-
machines and they
yes,
were doing
exactly.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the simplicity. So like that one scene of like Superman saving the.
And
I mean,
the
the whole
airplane
scene.
starts to-
Well, he it's a demo. He fly because you have you're like, man, these planes are going fast, and it's like the weight. You feel the weight of them, and then he separates them. You're feeling that. You feel that foot, and then as that plane goes down, he goes in, tries to like hold the one
Wing, and
wing.
it rips off. Yeah.
off, and then as it goes in, the music starts speeding up, and then
Yeah.
and then as he's like coming through, the other wing comes through.
Right.
He punches through that wing, and then he starts like, picking up, and then when he gets in front of the dang thing, you feel because the cape flies back. And
Yeah.
it's like I feel the weight of him, and and then it cuts to Earth.
Yeah.
And then
And
they
you see
look
this
up, and everyone
thing,
looks
yeah.
over, and then dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. And you know what's even great because the animators, which what we went back to, building falls on this Superman, whole building's like it would never happen. It's fucking crazy.
Okay, so-
it'd be crumbling. In the Superman Returns, though, he's sitting there dun-dun-dun-dun, slowing it down, and even his hand goes through the exo.
Yeah.
There's the outer shell,
yeah.
and then it punches through to the endo.
Yeah.
We all know there's like an
Yep.
undershell frame,
Yep.
and you can feel him holding that as like then the whole thing cripples and crunkles down and dun 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 and lays it down dun dun dun, and then he comes through and he goes, "Is everyone all right?"
Right,
It's
yeah.
Christopher. It's that's Superman.
Yeah, it is that. It is that.
There
I'll
was
give you that.
never that moment. That is the tone of Superman. There was never that Superman in this movie. It was a punk rock. It was this Superman was James Gunn fantasy dream about him watching Invincible and The Boys and wanting to him be Superman because he can't do anything other than an ensemble movie with a bunch of cast and hollow jokes. It's amazing he got the line out of the father out of that one scene where they were sitting at the bench, and thank God they had that where this I was like, what you do is the things that you do, who you make is who you are, and. But then he cried after that kind of. Every man is crying in this movie.
Okay, so
and
let me
also,
explain.
Too, how much do you? Let me ask you a question. I know we're going to split on a lot of things here, but I know we're going to be on the same page with this. How tired of you of seeing? Are you as me of watching Hollywood depict every Southern person like a retarded moron? They're like, anybody who speaks with a Southern accent, just get somebody who can really speak with a Southern accent. It's not that hard. It's hurtful to
That's
my ears.
yeah,
And then
exactly.
also, it's not only that the accent's
It's
off,
disrespectful.
But anybody
Honestly,
that has
it is
one, they're just like,
an ism.
they are
I don't
like-
know what ism we put it under, but there's two things going on. If you must know, and I tell people this all the time. First of all, the South is not stupid. Second of all, I'm not living in some form of South Africa apartheid in the South. I have been up north, and I've been to California. I'll take the South, thanks. I'm talking about just feeling comfortable.
Well,
As a black person, I'll take the South. I'm good.
Okay.
But now let me. Because that's what we're talking about.
North.
But here, and this is the point I was going to make. It's not just about Southerners. It's about men in general, and you can't. Wait a minute. Let me get this out.
You're right.
You cannot have an entire industry that is beta male.
well, that was another layer of
Right.
it because every man was crying.
All they're going to do is show you beta males. So you're not going to get you're not.
You get it.
Hollywood is so afraid to show a real alpha man.
There's a reason
They're
for that. We can't-
never going to show
but
you.
we can't
hold
get-
on.
we can't get
They're
into that now.
never going to show you a woman like Lois Lane showing a man, any man, even if it's fucking Superman.
Lois Lane was flying Mr.
They can-
Terrific's spaceship intuitively with like the whole gang of planes.
You have to admit that was a great joke, though. When they were waiting to get in, the
hangar.
garage was going up
Hangar
all
was a
slow,
good
and she,
that was a good joke.
even I had to stick with
That
her,
was
but she
probably
was
one
like,
of the,
"You can."
if not the best joke I thought in
Yeah,
the show
that was hilarious.
I didn't like Mr. Terrific's use of anything. I thought he should have like fixed the. I thought he should have fixed the
Portal?
No. I don't think the portal should have been in the movie at all. I think Mr. Terrific's really contribution should have been him fixing the rest of his parents' message, and the parents' message, instead of like be a despot and take over the planet, it should have been the rest of the correct. After like Lex Luthor made a fake one, the corrected message. You know what the corrected message should have been?
What?
Exactly what his Earth father said. And then that would
I like Kryptonians being superior to Earthlings.
then just go
I
and
have
read
no problem
Invincible.
with this.
Just that's Invincible. It's done better than
No,
Invincible.
because the
We can't get on
Viltrumites
this.
are
We have
evil
so
as
much more to
shit.
talk about. Okay, we have so much more to talk about. I have
If there
5
was
pages of this shit.
if there was more than one Kryptonian,
Listen.
which there is, if you saw
Listen,
the movie, you know
listen,
there's another
listen,
Kryptonian
listen.
in the movie.
Listen.
Not to spoil it for you.
Listen. The kaiju scene, it was a missed opportunity too. I think the kaiju scene should have been a missed opportunity of Superman being Superman. They hinted at it, at the fact that he wanted to save the kaiju instead of killing it. I don't think it should have been made by Lex Luthor. They never even showed you why he made it or how he made it or whatever. It was an
Keep
amplified.
Superman distracted.
It was. I get that. Why? Like why? It was like you had to be like you know, later in the story, you get that, but it's not like how he made it. It's just like he just did a thing. It's like we're just okay. Just you could just anything. A MacGuffin can anything pop up in this movie, which happened all the time. People were just getting expository shit all the time, just shoehorning it in. Jimmy Olsen, I got a thing for no reason. It's like never made any sense. Like why he was so. Like, if you wanted to make it like I know Superman and every girl wants to get after him, that makes sense. I didn't understand why did Lex Luthor keep girls in tiny little boxes? And which stumbles my thing on James Gunn and tiny little things in cages in every one of his movies. And I'm so tired of seeing I don't know what you felt about Crypto. I'm so tired of seeing James Gunn movies where he is just like hollowly putting CGI animals into everything and torturing them.
Well, give me another example besides this one.
All
You told
of
me that
Guardians of
over
the
the phone.
Galaxy, Rocket Raccoon. In the third one, there's a lot of animal torture. In
it's Rocket
Suicide
Raccoon,
Squad,
man.
he messed that one up. You got the Rat Lady, and then the Shark Man, and he was getting eaten up by the whatever. He likes for some reason having like. And the Starro was sympathetic. Starro was like it wouldn't even. I can't even get on a Suicide Squad tangent. It was so terrible. Starro was like brought here not under his own fruition.
Talking about the starfish thing?
Yeah, from that shitty Suicide Squad movie. It was fucking terrible. Anyway. Oh, in this movie too. Which universe are we in? Did James Gunn wipe out the entire pre-existing universe?
Yes.
I'm pretty not really, because why is fucking Peacemaker in that damn one?
Oh, good point.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, there'd be a peacemaker in this universe.
And you know, I also heard that like the fucking Blue Beetle kid's gonna be in this universe.
He is.
Too.
They're bringing.
Well,
him
then
back.
it's not. You didn't wipe out the other universe. You're just like selfishly getting rid of like the other Superman.
All you did was just get rid of Henry Cavill.
It doesn't make
And The
sense
Rock.
why you would
Because
keep,
The Rock was tied to Henry Cavill.
you got rid of Wonder Woman and everybody. They're scratching all of that except
You're
for
not a fan of the Wonder Woman.
James Gunn saving his specific Peacemaker
Yeah.
project
I just told you
and
he's
bringing
Kevin,
it in there.
He's Kevin Feige of the DC.
It doesn't make sense with the universe. If you're going to build a new universe, you can't keep other people from the other
So
universe.
you're saying that if we bring Iron Man back, it has to be the Tom Cruise Iron Man? No, you can bring back Robert Downey Jr.
Bring back? I'm saying you're... Okay, so... Okay.
He's mixing and melding.
Is this? Oh, what I'm to
It's an
assume is this is
amalgamation
okay.
of
So what I'm
universes.
to assume is like this Peacemaker is not the other universe Peacemaker. It's a Peacemaker that looks exactly like the other Peacemaker.
Isn't that how it
this
works?
universe.
Isn't that how multiverse
If
works?
that's the case, then okay. Whatever.
I'm caping for this as though I know
It's
that's
terrible
what they're
writing.
doing.
The thing for the kaiju should have been that it was a missed opportunity for Superman, for like the Justice Gang or whatever, to swoop in, and they're doing it like they're trying to get, or whoever, Hawkgirl at first, and she's trying to contain it.
Mm-hmm.
Superman comes in, and Green Lantern at the same time. And it should have been an opportunity where, like, instead of the monster being made by Lex Luthor, it should have been like Superman doesn't. I like the fact that like he didn't want to kill it, like almost like, and it was a tiny thing, it was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
It should have crashed landed like a meteor or something, and then like a baby, like a little Lilo and Stitch thing. They missed out a giant opportunity to sell 1 billion of these fucking these toys, these little alien toys. They should have called it an alien from the DC universe. It crash lands, and it and then it gets to water and grows.
Right.
And then I thought that was the scene where like the next scene is like it steps out of the thing, and then Superman like saves that. I get the Asian girl that was like with the board, because it looked like it was right on the boardwalk where it was like stepping out. That should have been the next scene. Instead, it's like that happened like 5 minutes of the fight. It's like, why is that little girl licking a lollipop in the middle of like the war zone? It makes no sense. And then so it should have been an alien that crash landed here. And then when they got to it, instead of like Superman punching it out, him being like, hey, we don't know what this is. I'd rather not kill it. And then Guy Gardner should have been ample opportunity, misused Guy Gardner, ample opportunity for him to use his, oh, what do I have in my Green Lantern ring that's like a supercomputer of the galaxy. If you want to expand the DCU, that's your opportunity to go, oh, that's a so-and-so baby. It's a baby version of whatever. They get bigger when it's like, and then Superman's like, well, instead of like pumping, what do we need to do? It's like, well, what does it eat? Oh, it eats this. Like, and put a holographic like little rattle thing, like a fish thing in front of it, and it goes, nah, nah, and then like Superman's like, instead of like killing the damn thing, like Superman lifts
I agree. That is more
Green Lantern into the space.
how
It
Superman would
gets
fix
it to its
it.
mama or something,
Yeah.
whatever. And then you go, oh, and then you sell 1 billion of those toys. But they didn't. They killed it because you just have terrible people writing this shit. No, 12-year-old screaming match, Lex Luthor torturing animals, nothing made sense, things in boxes, AI girl, MacGuffin girl that can do anything, coupled with a clone Superman. It's like, just, you know what, the real story was the Metamorpho. He wanted to save his child. I thought that was the stranglehold. You didn't have to have Lex Luthor kill a person or whatever, or like do like and also like him doing like a fucking like 3D chess match, like a stupid Pong, like he had 1980 like computers set up with these people in a tower, calling 2D 42B as if you're a smart
Wait a
player,
minute.
you could do
that,
like
he is the smartest person.
you
on
can do
this
smart,
planet.
but you're not gonna like. I could just make a fucking video game controller, or like do the other version if you're gonna do like All Star Superman, like make him fight. Like, remember the All Star Superman Lex Luthor where he took the sun and he was like that monster creator and he put that VR thing and he was like timing. He was having a conversation with the Colonel as he was like, I gotta time my actions.
I would have
as like he's fighting Superman. That's intellect. I would have had him. I would have had. Why didn't you have Lex Luthor put like a VR thing?
I agree with that. That
Piloting
would have
that
been
suit,
that
and
would
then
have
he's
been
like,
hotter.
"See, I'm
That
more
part would have been
intelligent than you."
hotter.
Instead, he's calling out like bingo cards to these a room full of monkeys that he's piloting.
Yeah.
And then the monkeys pop up in the Bizarro universe. Just stupid. You didn't need him shooting them, falafel guy, or doing anything else. If you just had him like holding a guy's baby in a parallel dimension so he can't find it, kind of explains why you need the parallel by the pocket dimension. Kind of explains why you need the pocket dimension. It's because Metamorpho is super powerful. He's owning Superman. Superman's got to like deal with this dude. It would be a great test of strength because Superman can punch through buildings and do whatever. But now he's up against a guy who doesn't want to kill him. He doesn't want to kill him, but he has to because the guy's holding this fucking baby captive in a quantum dimension that he can't get to. I mean, the guy can he can turn himself to acid and like destroy every Lex building, but Lex is like, well, if you do, your kid's just gonna suffocate in a parallel dimension. You'll never find him.
Right.
Okay, that's pretty fucking evil to me.
That is.
Go kill Superman or I'm gonna never give your son back. That's all you need. And then he's like crying as he's like kryptoniting Superman, you know, and he's like, I don't want to do it. And then Superman has to like not punch the damn guy out, and they have to work together and be good together and find the good and be the hero. Is you gotta trust me. I care about you. I hate a father, son, but you know, I understand. I will help you. Trust me. I'm not, you know. And he's like, okay, and he has to make a leap of. Where was that? Nowhere. It was just a hollow mess. I'm gonna forget this movie in a week. I can't wait to forget this movie in a week. When I got out of this movie, I had to go home and watch clips and
It'll be 2
pop
weeks.
in all the Superman
He had to
stuff.
hold this in for a week.
Superman the Animated Series, some good Superman clips. I just like refresh my mouth of like, it was just like punk. It was James Gunn's wannabe punk rock. This is me as Superman. Well, then you're not Superman. You don't understand Superman. Great, now we're gonna wait 5-10 more years so we get another cinematic Superman because you fucked up Superman. Because you don't understand him, because you're not the kind of person morally capable of writing Superman. Go off and write some more shitty Suicide Squad versions. That Suicide movie was also horrible too. They should have had it where, like, instead of like the guy, you put Superman in a coma, like, or Superman's, with a bullet. It should have been that death, the shooter guy, Idris Elba. He should have Superman should have been out of commission because he put Superman out of commission, and then he was needed to like rise up and be the superhero, right?
Deadshot.
Yeah, Deadshot, and they didn't do that. No, the other one. It's not Deadshot by Will Smith. Oh my God. Girls, pretty girls. Fuck. Anyway, Mighty have fallen. Hey, he was supposed to be Superman at one point too, or no, it was Neo.
Yeah, Neo. He was supposed to be that.
Hey, I just know that when I was like 12, I knew I was going to make it my personal mission to like be the best actor ever. Fresh Prince. You're on our planet now.
Will Smith was wonderful until he slapped Chris Rock. And he made some choices that worked. I mean, he said no to Django Unchained, and he said no to Neo because...
Let me ask you a question. How is Supergirl drunk if she's on planet Earth?
They said, I don't know, that was horrible. They said she went somewhere that negated
How'd she get
her
there?
powers. I'm assuming it's a Kryptonian ship.
She flies her Kryptonian ship because she can't fly back when she gets drunk.
Right.
Then her Kryptonian ship takes her back here. But as soon as she gets into the yellow sun atmosphere, shouldn't she not be drunk?
Hello, Pastor Choir here. I don't know how that worked, but maybe it took just like they had to put Superman.
She's a party
Wait
girl.
a minute, they had to
That's
put
James
Superman in
Gunn's
the
life.
sun.
Everything doesn't matter. There's
Just
no
like
heart
they had
to
to put
anything.
Superman in the sun to heal up from his injuries. Maybe
I
she
liked
would need a
I
little
liked the
sunshine.
solar refractor rays. I thought all that was cool, and they misused the bots too. The bots were fucking terrible. I thought the best use of the Superman bots was the All-Star Superman. Right?
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. I've seen
both
those.
the comic and the animation.
I've never seen that. I've seen
Do
the
you-
animated movie.
Oh, yeah, but it's very close. Remember what Robot 7 does?
I can't remember what Robot 7 does.
Okay, so at the end when like Superman fights Solaris, the rogue sun, you know, the
I remember All-Star Superman, he has cancer, right?
yes, and at the
Okay.
end because and then Lex Luthor makes a deal with Solaris, the artificial sun, to come and be a red sun in like our atmosphere, and he's like a red beacon sun, negating Superman's powers and like gonna kill the planet and like draining our sun or whatever it was, and then Superman. Our sun's exactly. He's draining our sun. The sun's dying, and you find that like Superman is flying up to defeat Solaris, and you realize when they're fighting it that Robot 7 is like, or Superman's like, leave, save yourself, Robot 7, and Robot 7 is like, no, I must continue. I must like Robot 7. Solaris overrode Robot 7's code, and Robot 7. Gave Lex Luthor a super serum, and he didn't meet. He's like Robot 7 must atone and then sacrifice himself, right? But how many robots are there?
I can't remember. I'm
12. Why? How many apostles did Jesus have? But that's a number. How many gods are there? How many gods are there? So it's 12. So it's 12
That's
gods and 12 whatever. And what is Judas?
He's a betrayer. He betrayed
Okay,
Jesus.
Robot 7. I have to atone. Right?
That's some deep shit.
Why did they do that? I wanted All-Star Superman. Just do an All-Star Superman movie. But you didn't have the balls to. Nobody had the balls at Warner Bros. to go, you know what? Just make an All-Star Superman live-action movie. That's what they kind of wanted to do with this. It was like 2 hours or however many hours of like 5-minute throw-up sequences of not Superman. Like, James Gunn's punk rock Superman. It's like, okay, here, I made a reference the other day, like, Superman doesn't listen to that kind of music. And I said, like, Hank Williams, but it's something reminiscent, very not edgy. I mean, he can listen, but that's not what he enjoys. He's a farm boy from Kansas. And I'll put it more eloquently. Like, I'll put it better as, like, the tone of Superman. Superman has X-ray vision. He can see through walls, see through our clothes, whatever. He would never use his X-ray vision to peep through a woman's outfit, right?
Yeah.
Never. If he were Clark Kent and he walked through a mall and passed like a Victoria's Secret ad, or a store, he'd probably look away or kind of blush.
Yeah,
That's the tone of Superman.
I
That's
agree.
Superman,
I
right?
agree.
And then he doesn't let like a fucking space imp destroy like 4 townhouses and a skyrise as like Guy Gardner and whoever can't handle it. And he goes, "Oh, they got it. There's only 600 people dead over there. I'm off my off time. I gotta put my boots on." You don't get Superman then. You know why? Because you're a morally hollow person, James Gunn. Go back to writing morally hollow scripts. Leave Superman alone. Again, I will proselytize this. The best Superman scripts, you have to be maybe it's a certain kind of person inside can reach this, because Superman is the pantheon, the number one, the original superhero, and he's made boo-hoo. You want an edgier? I want my edgy Joe. Go read Invincible. Go read The Boys. Go get a dark Superman. Go read Red Sun. Go read some Tyrannical. Whatever. The best Superman, Boy Scout Superman, Superman the Animated Series. That's the tone, because there has to be that true north in the comicdom, so that all the other stuff is the other stuff and cool. If you don't quit tearing down Superman to be Superman. People are just so scared of having a good moralistic representation of a mirror in front of them to go, you do right to do right, and it's like the best thing. They just don't want it. They go, no, just tear that down, because I don't want that high of a bar to aspire to. And I'm tired of it. You set that bar so high, and that the only superhero who can handle that bar is Superman. So quit getting terrible writers and terrible people to handle him, because this is the degradation of society. This is what you get. You need a good Superman. You can have all the other cool characters. You can have the Wolverines that are bad. They smoke cigars. They like what Deadpool's are. Everything. Lobos. I'm not saying all the characters. Yes. And I love the you were coming here to task a planet, done much better with Kirkman's Invincible. The planet wasn't dying. They kind of like it made sense the way their planet like died off, Viltrum, with the way they like destroyed each other trying to get like, and then they tasked. That's the kind of thought process that you would get. And that's how the planet would be.
You realize we only have Invincible because of John Byrne's.
Yeah, I get that, but it was done better in Invincible, and I don't like that aspect of John Byrne's writing. He did a bunch of other things that are fucking amazing, but again, I just don't like that aspect of it. I think he also did. John Byrne's. He made Lex Luthor the businessman.
Yes, very much so.
Best version. I like him being kind of sciencey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that's how he was.
But I like him really good to be.
Yeah, he's a massive business.
And he took that obviously from like Gene Hackman's take on
Easily.
it. Right.
I mean, because some of these
like that,
takes. All right, well, look. I think we've discussed Superman ad nauseum. We got 2 episodes out of us. We will agree to disagree on some points of the movie. But that's Comic Cocktail number 6, Superman Part 2. Eventually we'll get to Fantastic Four, I suppose. But that's the show for today. Thanks for joining us.